Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. All right, so interesting. Just kind of chilling today, doing some work on the man cave set here, just trying to make it all it can be. And, we got several months before we start having football. So the planning for next year begins right now. So a couple of things. Interesting tweet to Mike Fisher from David Chow, who's pro football doctor, excuse me, with about 172,000 subscribers. He says, "No way at Dak doesn't play again. By the way, I might also win the lottery. There is a chance that he's not 100%, but I think he'll make a full recovery." So this is another little piece to the puzzle of the person who said that Dak Prescott may not be playing again, or there's a chance, an 80% chance that he plays and a 20% chance that he never plays. Well, you could almost say that about just about anybody, but it is what it is. We'll see where that goes. I'm still believing what I was told, that the Cowboys will be meeting possibly this week, but more than likely the following week. With Dak Prescott's people to start trying to hammer out a deal. This is kind of the lull before the storm. This is the process of figuring out what you're going to do to get money, because we have about a month from now. Everybody's got to be at zero as far as you can't be over, getting ready to go and getting ready for free agency. So this is who we going to get rid of, and you're going to start seeing some big name people that are going to be released. Now, here's an interesting take. I saw this clip today, and I find it kind of funny. Let's listen to it real quick.
I'm not backing off of what I said 2 weeks ago. I still think it's going to be the Colts, and the reason is simply this. Frank Reich, the head coach, wants him. He coached him for 2 years in Philly as the offense coordinator. They had a close working relationship. Reich thinks the world of him. He explained, I'm told by Colts sources, that once they got into their free agent meetings, this is a guy they could build around. He's only 28 years old. He's got elite talent. He just fell off this season. It's actually been a 2-year regression, but this season obviously was awful. He got benched. But he's still talented. That has not left. And Wentz, I'm told, has not backed off. He still wants out. The Eagles have granted him his wish in terms of looking to move him. They agreed to do it. They're going to take a big cap hit when it happens, $33 million. When you really look at it with Carson Wentz, when they do this, it's Jalen Hurts as the starter. I still think they'll add a veteran quarterback, whether it's the draft or free agency. I mean, whether it's a trade or free agency, then potentially, obviously, the draft, because they'll get some draft picks. I still think it's the Colts because it makes the most sense. And by the way, multiple people told me that's where he's wanted to go from day one because of his relationship with Reich. So that's where it stands as you and I speak on Friday afternoon.
So I'm kind of curious on this one. So the Colts believe they can build around him. So does that mean they're saying that he needs people around him to succeed? Is that what they're saying? Because I could have sworn that we always hear that Dak Prescott, he needs guys around him to be successful. He needs good receivers, like Amari Cooper, kind of like it's kind of amazing how everybody talks about Josh Allen. They say, oh, my God, Josh Allen, his progressions have been incredible. And they have been. When you look at his numbers from his rookie year to his second year to this past year, it's been incredible, the amount of yardage and touchdown passes and things that he's done. But what we may have to also look at is think about the fact that they ended up getting a great wide receiver in Diggs. You think that having players around a guy helps? Do you think that having a defense around helps the quarterback succeed? This is where I hate to say it, that the quarterback always gets too much credit and too much blame when a team wins and loses. There's no great quarterback out there that can win on their own. Just take a look at Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes, I can arguably say, is the best quarterback in football. But when his offensive line could not stop people, when his receivers kept dropping the ball when he couldn't move as well, it didn't matter how great he is. You need people around it. And I get tired of hearing the same narrative that, all of a sudden, if you have Russell Wilson, you're winning the Super Bowl every year. Well, Russell Wilson isn't winning the Super Bowl every year. He's won one. And that was with the best defense in football. That was also number one at taking away the football. And he also had a guy named Beast Mode. He's doing the Subway commercial right now. Yeah. He had that going for him. So we got to get past this whole narrative that one guy can win it all. I know it's easy to say the team succeeds or fails by the back of the quarterback. Yes, you need a good quarterback, but he can't do it all on his own. And that's where you have to make decisions to try and maximize what you do in everything. Now, speaking of maximizing, this is the biggest fear for me. Stephen Jones says player acquisition is a 365-day-a-year job. That you're always looking at guys that can potentially make you better. You're evaluating every single day. That's what he says. But if you're telling me you haven't had discussions about J.J. Watt or Patrick Peterson, then you're feeding us bullshit. Because you should be evaluating every single player and possibility that's out there to make your team better. Isn't that what you said? 365 days a year is player evaluation. But yet, we've got some players, veteran players that have been successful, and I know J.J. Watt has come back down, but he's still ranked as the 7th best edge rusher in football. And unlike Tyrone Crawford, because we look and say, Tyrone Crawford, he's our guy because he can do the dirty work where he can play defensive tackle and he can play defensive end. And for 2 years, we believed that as he was never a J.J. Watt. Now, J.J. Watt can play tackle. He's a beast as far as tackle. He can play defensive end. I'm not saying that we should sign him, but you should be open to the thought and the idea of, let's think about this. Is this somebody we want to take a flyer on? Should we look at this? Should we see if he has anything in the tank? How much money would he be looking for? I don't understand the whole process here for the Dallas Cowboys, because too many times it seems like instead of us getting into the deep end of the pool, we end up waiting and waiting and waiting in free agency to the toaster leavings, the crumbs, the bottom of the barrel, the blue light specials for players. And then we say, well, we bring in guys that nobody else wanted. Because literally, we sign guys at training camp that nobody else wanted. And we give them contracts, and then they get here and they say, well, free agents don't work. We just built through the draft. We're in free agency. No, you're not really in free agency. You're not really in free agency. And this is where Stephen Jones, stop feeding this bullshit, okay? If you have not at least looked at the possibility of Patrick Peterson, and I'll give it to you this. I'll admit, both of their play has declined. But so has the Houston Texans as a whole declined. So is that J.J. Watt, or is that just the whole team has just gone off a cliff? All right, y'all. Let me get off of here. I think Mike is trying to go past here, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Go back to doing some more work here on the Man Cave. I'll see you guys later.